Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. The Steam Autumn Sale 2025 is finally here, running until October 6th, and I've gone through hundreds of deals to find the absolute best games you can grab for under $5. We're talking legendary classics, hidden gems, and even some all-time lows that are just too good to pass up. And instead of just rattling off prices, I'm going to actually explain what each game is about, why it's worth your money, and maybe why you should skip it if it's not your style. So grab your wish list because we're diving right in. Let's kick things off with a cult classic, Prototype. This game puts you in the shoes of Alex Mercer, a shape-shifting anti-hero tearing through a virus-infected New York. The fun here is all about freedom and raw power. You're sprinting up skyscrapers, gliding through the city, and using wild abilities like massive claws or whip tendrils to obliterate enemies. It's messy, chaotic, and just plain fun. Now, the graphics are dated and the story is a bit all over the place, but at $3.99, 80% off, it's basically the price of a snack. If you've ever wanted a darker, bloodier version of Spider-Man, Prototype is exactly that. Unity had a rough launch back in 2014 with bugs everywhere, but today it's actually one of the most stunning Assassin's Creed entries. Set during the French Revolution, the recreation of Paris is breathtaking, and the parkour system is still among the smoothest the series has ever had. For $4.49, that's 85% off, you're getting a massive world to explore. The story isn't as strong as Ezio's trilogy, but if you want to lose yourself in revolutionary Paris with some of the best climbing mechanics in the series, this is a no-brainer. Now let's stick with Ubisoft for a second. Syndicate takes us to Industrial Revolution London, and it's unique because it features dual protagonists, Jacob and Evie Fry. Plus, they added a grappling hook for faster climbing, which honestly makes traversal a blast. It didn't get as much love compared to other Assassin's Creed games, but at $4.49, it's a steal. It's also one of the last classic AC games before the series turned into full-on RPGs. If you want Victorian London vibes with good old-fashioned stealth and combat, Syndicate is well worth the pickup.
Who is responsible?
Now here's a big one. The 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider basically redefined Lara Croft for a new generation. It mixes survival, exploration, and cinematic action with some seriously intense moments. You'll hunt, craft, and fight your way through an island filled with danger. The story is surprisingly emotional, and the combat feels punchy and satisfying. Sure, it's more action-heavy compared to the older Tomb Raider puzzle routes, but it's still fantastic. And the best part? It's just $2.24 right now. For a game that kickstarted an entire modern trilogy, that's an insane deal. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Thief Simulator is exactly what it sounds like. You're a burglar, sneaking into houses, planning your break-ins, stealing loot, and selling it off. It's part stealth, part sandbox chaos. You can go in quiet and methodical or screw up and end up sprinting away from the cops. The freedom is what makes it fun, and it's one of those games where even failing can be hilarious. At $1.99, it's worth picking up if you want something light, quirky, and different. Now let's talk about one of the most emotional gaming experiences ever, The Walking Dead by Telltale Games. This is a narrative-driven adventure where your choices really matter. You play as Lee, protecting a young girl named Clementine during the zombie apocalypse. The storytelling is phenomenal, the characters feel real, and the choices will break your heart. At $1.49, it's practically essential. Even if you're not into zombies, this one is worth it for the story alone. The story continues in Season 2, and this time you're stepping into Clementine's shoes. It's darker, more brutal, and every decision feels like it carries serious weight. The gameplay is simple. It's all about choices and quick-time events, but the writing is what keeps you hooked. At $3.74, it's another must-have if you loved Season 1.
We have to go.
You could have saved him.
And finally, we have the final season. This one wraps up Clementine's journey, and it's emotional, heartfelt, and honestly one of the best conclusions to any game series. $4.99, it's a perfect way to close out one of the greatest narrative-driven franchises of all time. Just be ready with tissues, because this one hits hard.
I've always called you goofball. It's time for you to stop. It's Alvin Jr.
Switching gears again, here's a newer title, RoboCop Rogue City. Yes, it's already down to $4.99, a massive 90% off. You step into the boots of RoboCop himself in this gritty first-person shooter. The gunplay feels heavy, the environments nail that classic RoboCop vibe, and the story's surprisingly solid. It's not flawless. Combat can feel clunky sometimes, but if you grew up on RoboCop, this is pure nostalgia for the price of a burger. Before Helldivers 2 blew up, there was the original Helldivers, and it's still pure chaos. This is a top-down cooperative shooter where you and your squad drop into hostile alien worlds. You'll be calling in airstrikes, blasting enemies, and let's be real, accidentally blowing up your teammates with friendly fire. At $3.99, it's an incredible deal. Solo play is solid, but with friends this game is absolutely hilarious and endlessly replayable. Time for an all-time classic, KOTOR. This is BioWare at its peak, delivering one of the best RPG stories ever told in the Star Wars universe. You'll build your character, make moral choices, and decide whether to follow the Jedi or Sith path. The combat is turn-based, and yeah, the graphics are ancient, but the story is still unmatched. At $3.49, this is gaming history you can't miss. Originally an Xbox One launch title, Rise is remembered as more of a tech demo than a deep game. But for $3.49, it's a short but great cinematic ride. The visuals hold up even today. The combat is flashy and brutal, and it honestly feels like playing through a Hollywood Roman epic. It's not long, but if you want something stylish and satisfying for a weekend, Rise delivers. Next up is an indie legend. Braid is a puzzle platformer where you manipulate time to solve clever challenges. The Anniversary Edition updates the visuals, sound, and even adds developer commentary. The gameplay is brainy but addictive, and the story leaves a lot open to interpretation. For $3.99, it's an essential pickup for anyone who loves puzzles. Now let's get spooky. Dead Space 2 is survival horror at its absolute finest. You play Isaac Clarke fighting through a space station overrun with necromorphs, horrifying alien monsters that will keep you on edge the entire time. It's atmospheric, tense, and still terrifying even today. At $3.99, this is easily one of the best deals of the sale for horror fans. From the same devs who gave us Spider-Man, Sunset Overdrive is wild, colorful, and just ridiculously fun. You're grinding rails, bouncing across the city, and blasting mutants with insane weapons like explosive teddy bears. It didn't get much attention when it first launched, but at $4.99, it's one of the most stylish and fun open-world games you can play. This one's a co-op classic. Castle Crashers is a colorful beat-em-up for up to 4 players, and it's full of humor, chaos, and ridiculous boss fights. It's simple, but that's what makes it so fun, especially with friends. At $4.49, it's one of the best couch or online co-op games you can grab. Now for something slower and more emotional. Firewatch is a narrative-driven adventure set in the Wyoming wilderness, where you play as a fire lookout building a relationship with your supervisor over the radio. It's short, only about 4 hours, but the writing, atmosphere, and voice acting are top-notch. At $3.99, it's a beautiful little journey. And finally, Red Faction Guerrilla, or as they call it, Re-Mars-Tared. This one is all about destruction. The physics engine lets you blow up buildings in the most creative ways possible, from rocket launchers to sledgehammers. The story is fine, but the real fun is just wrecking Mars one building at a time. At $3.99, it's a bargain for pure chaos. And that's my roundup of the best under $5 deals in the Steam Autumn Sale 2025. So which ones are you picking up? Did I miss any under 5 bangers? Drop your favorites down in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like and subscribing for more sale breakdowns and gaming content.